around 12:21 this afternoon, dispatchers were contacted due to a home health care worker who arrived at the scene of the fire at this Northside home. A Muncie victim was found at the time of the fire and later pronounced dead. An autopsy will be presented sometime today. The fire was identified in the living room of the home. The property remains deserted since nearly 2017, leaving residents with questions. The protests are occurring in remembrance of George Floyd. The protests have found their way from Minneapolis all the way here. Some believe the protests will do enough to invoke change, while others believe more aggressive measures should be taken. Doug Stevenson shares his experiences and tries to prepare for the worst.
The protest had closed down and changed over from a protest to just a riot, basically. So I drove back down here at 11 o'clock, and I got down here and in this part of the circle. I'm on the eastern spoke of Market Street. There wasn't actually anything going on when I first got here. It was just there were police cars blocking the road, but a lot of action over on West Market Street over by the Capitol building. And
Doug says he's worked for Comic Hub for years and has never saw extreme chaos. Walking through these halls, I have saw many artifacts, read many different historical documents based off of the history. Stopped by the History Museum in downtown Fort Wayne for a summer getaway. Be sure to get your paddles ready. Kayaking season is here. This is so much fun. Take a ride on the trail. Summer activities have arrived in Fort Wayne, and it starts right here. Finally today, one final look at COVID-19 for the academic year. Masks can save a life. Open Door Health Services is offering COVID tests as well as vaccinations to all eligible Hoosiers. Since September, Open Door Health Services has been testing patients for the coronavirus by appointment. Open Door is testing up to 200 patients per day at its 2 locations. Patients are able to get tested right in their cars and receive results within about a week.
That's kind of one of the neat things about community health centers is that we co-locate several types of services within one building. So we have behavioral health on the north side, but also it's included in many of our other locations.
Patients who are experiencing COVID symptoms can visit Open Door virtually and meet with their doctor over the phone or video chat.
It's something that we were already talking about and leaning toward making happen before COVID was a thing at all. But for a lot of healthcare organizations, COVID ramped that process up. And it makes your care convenient. It just flat out makes it easier for a lot of people.
Vaccinations are also available to anyone who is eligible. You can pre-register online and make an appointment and receive a vaccine from your car.
The day that we actually received our first box of vaccine and supplies, there was just an energy you could feel that is a turning point in the whole pandemic.
In Muncie, Cherish Nicole, NewsLink. What we know right now, I have spoke with the manager of the Food Mart here in Yorktown, and he told me that the investigation is still ongoing. The Yorktown Police Department is still investigating what had took place the other night where these 2 men had hit the cashier with a baseball bat twice on the head, demanding Juul pods. Since April 8th, police have looked for the identification of 2 suspects who came into a Marathon gas station shortly after midnight, attacking the gas station clerk and demanding Juul pods. Video from the incident shows what these 2 suspects were wearing during the incident.
They wear like a black outfit, white shoes, and they have a mask over here. And we can just see their eyebrows and eyes, that's it. And they don't have gloves, nothing.
Police say the attacker hit the victim on the head with a metal baseball bat. After attacking the clerk, the suspects tried to get into the cash register, but the register did not open. The victim suffered wounds and was treated at IU Health Ball Memorial Hospital. Plans to re-engage with the UN Human Rights Council. The decision to join the Geneva-based UNHRC as an observer reserves another Trump-era move. The former president withdrew from the group almost 3 years ago because of what he called a disproportionate focus on Israel. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken laid out the plans this morning. Blinken acknowledges the council's flaws and says it needs reform. Hundreds of people took to the streets of Melbourne, Australia, to protest against the military coup. In Myanmar, protesters are mostly Burmese, Australian, chanting their support for the National League for Democracy. Military leaders say they staged the coup last Sunday because their allegations of voter fraud in the November election were not properly investigated. They say they'll return power to whatever party wins a free and fair election, though they don't say when the election will take place. The health department has confirmed that there are 168 cases of the coronavirus. Since Wednesday, there have been reportedly 7 cases and 1 death in Delaware County.
Washington Street Festival is holding various events downtown Muncie this weekend, including a car show. Purchase a ticket for a tour through a historical home, volunteer to help in a booth, or walk around and eat food and check out contests.
43rd annual event at the Washington Street Festival, downtown Muncie, Indiana. Come down and enjoy the fun. During a storm warning, be sure to go to a safe location such as a cellar, a basement, or an interior room on the lowest floor with no windows. And listen to your local radio for more weather updates. I will continue to update you with more weather alerts. This is Cherish Nicole. I'm reporting live in Delaware County.
Do these last for a long time?
They'll last, yeah. And if you often can keep these until next year. It's a perennial plant. Sometimes you have a little more trouble having something in a basket,
Yeah.
keeping it all winter, but it should. You should be able to have it next year.
Many stores and restaurants are offering you a free donut. Be sure to check out your social media channels for the latest deals. I'm reporting live in Muncie, Indiana. This is Cherish Nicole. We'll get back to you in the studio. Where is all the funding coming from in Delaware County for our bridges, and how are we working on them for transportation? Indiana recommends that Delaware County spends $20 million for the materials for better and newer bridges. In the next 5 years, $13 million will be spent on construction work on the county's bridges. Moyer says these projects are covered by numerous funding programs, such as EDIT funds, which are used only for economic development projects. She says TIF funds help with the bridge projects as well, which is based off of tax increment financing, which is a tool used to stimulate economic development.
Q Bridge, EDIT funds, TIF funds, CREED funds, grant money, federal funding. So we look at all different angles to try to help financially support these projects.
Rosebud Coffee House is located at 1805 South Hoyt Avenue in Muncie. Now here's a look at your Newslink Indiana forecast. These are the conditions right now. It is 16 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. It is quite cold for this time of the year. The high will not even hit freezing today. If you think today is cold, just wait. It will get colder. Let's look at the 7-day forecast. Highs will drop into the teens later this week. Unfortunately, today probably is not a good day to go outside to celebrate a big day. Today is National Kite Flying Day. Some interesting facts about kites. They date back to the 470 BC in China, but nobody is quite sure exactly why people started flying them. Modern kites have come a long way since then. They used to be made from bamboo and silk, but now you can get complicated box or stunt kites that dip, twist, and dive. Experts do want to remind you to be careful not to fly one near power lines or in the rain. The most optimal weather is a light breeze up to 20 miles per hour. That's going to do it for us today, this midday. Thank you for joining us. I'm Cherish Nicole. Be sure to tune in to Newslink Indiana tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. Have a great rest of your day.